I'm alive right now. Yeah. Yeah, man, so we're live right now. Live on TikTok. Live on TikTok and live on YouTube at the same time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's your brother Bolo VNR. And today I wanna talk about the creative space. Today I wanna talk about the creative industry. Miss or Miss Kimberly Hall, big up. Mrs. Deborah Hickling Gordon was on Andre Stevens' show last night. And I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, I just hearing her speak, it got me very excited about the creative industry. Me being a part of it, as so many Jamaicans are, what the PNP government has planned to actually, increase the potential of that industry gets me very excited. So what I want to do is on this live, we're making up too much noise, man. What I want to do is, ladies and gentlemen, is go into that, that specific portion of the talks between Andre and Nikisha Burchell was there as well. She had contributed to the conversation. Thus, her picture is on the screen. She was also excited because she knows that the PMP, as they confessed on the program, have been planning this for quite some time. They have done their research. They have really thought about the creative industry and the potential that it can actually bring to the people of Jamaica, because we are such a creative people, innit? We the Jamaican people are such a creative people, right? So I am very happy that they sought to tap into the creative industry. When you look at the craft markets, that's a part of the creative industry. When I look at the artists, that's a part of the creative industry. When I look at dancers, people that have those specific skill sets on the dance floor, the choreographers, the people that create comedy, the comedians. As I said before, the arts. Jamaicans have excelled. Jamaicans have excelled in the arts for years. Now, that industry, to me, has been neglected. And there's a few things that Miss or Mrs. Deborah Hickling Gordon mentioned that really stood out to me. And I'm very excited to actually cover this. So guys, just tap up the screen, hit the like button, share the live, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm gonna play this before I start on that topic, just to we have a situation with the water in Jamaica, and some resignations of Jesse James Clark was called upon, and I just want you guys to hear what this lady had to say. Listen to this. That Jesse James Clark.
Beverly something another that he should resign.
Yes, he should resign. There's a long list of JP individuals that have done things that is warrant for them to resign. Start with the Prime Minister. Why has she been quiet? Why have we not heard from her? Everett Warmington should resign. Deborah Chuck should resign. All right?
And idiot, I mean.
Yeah, he should even be there. What is he doing there? Talking about the blood of our brothers and sisters. What kind of argument that? Huh? Desmond Mackenzie should resign. Desmond Mackenzie said we should take it to the streets because of Andrew Wallace's certification cannot be certified. That somehow the people of Jamaica taking to the streets is going to make his certificate, his statutory declaration certified. Right? You have been hearing gaslighting of violence from key members of the JLP. And the Jamaican people, whether you are green or orange or your UIC, you have to admit that if a violent approach does not serve any of us, this is why both parties together from the 80s, what happened in the 80s, they realized, virtually, we can't have political violence in the country. Anybody that is championing that and gaslighting the people of Jamaica, when it's time for you to vote, you should keep that in mind. And you should never allow people like that to be voted in our government ever again, because they do not mean every citizen of Jamaica well. All right?
I want you to listen to what she said, though. Don't go. Listen to what she said.
Clark's unfortunate approach is consistent with the apparent preparedness of the Mark Golden-led PNP to burn Jamaica to the ground in their desperate bid to rule over ashes.
Now tell me something now.
No, according to this lady, PNP is attempting to burn Jamaica down to the ashes because they are highlighting very serious issues that could affect our health, like the water being contaminated, allegedly. Now, my response was this. It's the approach for me, and the responses from the JLP. It appears that they want to hide issues from the Jamaican people, and more importantly, the globe. So, guys, please tap up the screen. Double tap the screen for me now. Double tap the screen on YouTube and on TikTok. Just double tap the screen. All right, so you can get out in the algorithm. So please, it's free. All right. So they don't want people to talk about the real issues, and I'm saying, if we don't talk about the issues, how are the issues going to be fixed? Is it a situation where the JLP members, heads, and everybody want to blame the government that's not in power for the present state of which the country is in? And to be honest with you, that answers itself, because they have done it several times. Guys, make sure you go sub up to my new channel right there, Bolo TBV. Yes, you see the handle. That's on YouTube. Go ahead and sub up. So it's alarming to me, because every single individual should be concerned about a potential water contamination in our pipes. Right? People can get very sick from something like that. And you would say that, oh, it's in the area of St. Andrew and Kingston and you don't care. Well, do you know where the water that you buy your bottled water from, do you know where they actually got it from? It could potentially be from that same area. Potentially. Right? So this should be an alarm. The government response should be, let us investigate thoroughly what is going on with NWC. NWC, let us see the papers. Let us see the results of this and make them public. If NWC is confident that what Jesse James Clark is doing is quote unquote gaslighting for political favor, and he's not genuinely concerned about what is about the quality of water in our pipes, which I don't get that from him personally. Looking at his body language, when I look at him speaking about the issue, I don't see a man that is see somebody that is reserved, right? I see somebody that doesn't really like the spotlight. He look like a nerd. He's a scientist. You understand? He's a scientist. He's not really looking for a spotlight type of vibe. So it's and then ask for his resignation. Please, with the Prime Minister that is steering down the Jamaica Labour Party because he is. The declaration cannot be certified. Mighty God, what are we talking about? Let's start there. And so many other members that shouldn't even be in the Senate at all. Or whatever her asking for the resignation of the Virgin where allegedly take one chair and beat him wife. Why none of the women them in the Jamaica Labour Party is supporting a man that has that history? Right? I'm just saying it's weird. What has Jesse James done actually? Huh? Come with from the tests that came from the NWC, which he has now shown came from the NWC. What is the NWC going to do? As a matter of fact, let me go on the let me go on the NWC website. Let me go on Instagram and see what they're saying. Are they gonna continue to say that, oh, nothing don't go so and there's nothing to warrant? Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Let's see here. More reserve capacity. What was the last they put up? Path beneficiaries. 1 day ago, NWC extend amnesty program. Okay. I see a lot of PR. Thing they said on their page in regards to the water quality in parts of rural St. Andrew. If just guys, right? If in fact just he could be sued, innit? Right? You agree? If in fact he's lying, sue him. Sue him. If Jesse James is lying, sue him. And let's get what they call the process of discovery, meaning that you will now have to show all your documentation to show that Jesse James Clark is lying. But I digress. To the real reason why I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, is this right here. Mrs. Deborah Hickling Gordon. Right here, so.
This national party is championing a boost for the cultural and creative industries. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Mark Golding and Julian Robinson said that when the People's National Party forms government, there will be a $1 billion fund for the creative industry.
Yes.
Dr. Hickling, can you explain to us tonight how that looks? Because the Jamaica Labour Party wants to paint it as though the PNP plans to give TikTokers money and YouTubers money, and them say we are gonna go waste public resources to give people with taps and rows and beg. Can you carefully?
Well, let's just start with the fact that we are not going to be detained by that foolishness.
Yes.
The Jamaica Labour Party knows that there is a significant cultural and creative sector in Jamaica.
But unfortunately, orange economy.
The orange economy, it's known as a creative economy, it's known as a cultural economy. What, however, it seems that they do not know is how to facilitate that sector to greatness, to move it beyond a sector that is struggling, a fledgling sector, despite the fact that we have a small number of people who are doing very, very well. And we absolutely big up those people. But under the surface, when the science tells us that over 50% of our cultural and creative practitioners are amongst the working poor.
Working poor.
Working poor, they are
Our constituency.
I'm not hearing you.
And Miss Birchall has a lot of those working poor in her constituency.
A lot. We're
absolutely
accounted for.
So essentially what we have done is we've identified, the first thing that people ask is who is a creative, and what makes you a creative, and what are the sectors that exist. And the truth of the matter is that the Jamaica Labour Party had an opportunity for the last 10 years to do the kind of work in which these questions wouldn't have to be asked 10 years later. So what we've done is we've identified who a creative is. I've actually sent you some information where we can determine there are at least 20 subsectors of cultural and creative practitioners. And that each of those subsectors has at least 2 industries. So 20 times 2, 40, right? And if we go to 3, it may well be 60 industries within the cultural and creative industries. But we don't know because the work has not been done over the last 10 years.
So Dr. Hickling, how much money are we talking about that potentially the creative industries can carry in for the country?
Can bring in? No. Let us say that we work with the almost 3 trillion US dollars that is made globally. And let us say that we target 0.5% of that 3 trillion US dollars. That is 15 billion US dollars.
So you say annually we can carry in?
I'm saying if we were to make it a target, and were to determine the means by which to achieve that, then the Prime Minister, unfortunately, said that he was being cautious about the cultural and creative industries. We would have no need to be cautious.
That him being cautious of the creative industry. What
yes, because he's not able to see.
The entertainers them own more than 28 bank accounts.
Yeah, but he's gonna rely on them come election time.
Absolutely.
Listen.
But when he's ready to pick up back his brogad moniker, he's gonna rely on the creative industries to provide him the support to warm up his base for the election.
Who going to that? Nikisha Birchall, who going to that, Dr. Hickling? Because I don't see no sector of the creative industry. Well, you don't even see, I will call it Krabby. No, Nikki call him Krabby. Well, name tonight, Triple X.
That person whose name has to do with California.
Nikisha Birchall made a point just a while ago that him going to call on the creative industry. But when I look at the industry, Cartel now look pan him, me sure public car now look pan him, Buju now look pan him, Beanie Man now look, where name again? Chronix Law now look, Skilly Bay me sure now look.
Head kill him with the nose.
So it's one thing now look. The one where retire, we turn political entertainer.
Bye. Kill him with a no.
You know, I want to make a point tonight. Producer, can you play what Triple X? Jamaican know Triple X and I not friends.
Before Andre goes there, the lady mentioned something, Mrs. Deborah Gordon. She mentioned something about the potential amount of money, if structured, the creative industry could bring to Jamaica. I think she said something along the lines of 15 billion US dollars. Let us look at that then now. 15 billion US dollars. 15 billion. That's 9 zeros. Let's times that by 150. Alright, it's too much. I can't. It's too much to calculate. It's too much to calculate. This person. Thank you so much, Marcia. If you don't care, why are you here? Why are you listening? If you don't care about the Jamaican people that is in the creative industry, carrying millions of US dollars potentially in their own pockets to benefit their own family, why are you listening to the platform? See, you can't see past a party, you know, and just say, listen, the PNP brought an excellent idea and focus to the fore. And this is why I'm going to continue to focus more on what the PNP has planned for the people, because the verdict is in when it comes to the JLP and what they have not done for this country in the last 9 years, and the things that they have done negatively to our country in the last 9-10 years. The verdict is in about that. But so I want to focus more on the platform about what the PNP actually has planned and how tangible those plans are. Right? Yes, that is what I want to focus on. And I want to big up the people in the entertainment industry. Alright, big up Queen Africa for her recent statements that she made. No matter what you do, under no circumstances, JLP, PNP doesn't matter. Under no circumstances do you vote for the Jamaica Labour Party in the next upcoming election. And I agree with her 1,000,000%. Let's continue.
When I hear true talk, I have to make true. I have to make true talk. When I listen to Triplex tonight, Jamaica, listen to Triplex. Queen Africa.
I do not believe that the Jamaica Labour Party is a party that is humanitarian. I don't think they think about the human factor.
Do you think the opposition has a chance in the next general election?
The best chance the opposition ever know. I think that charisma
is
and Andrew beat, but if you have a look for intelligence, Mark Golden is no disrespect to Brogan, and I hope nobody will take this as no. But if you look from basic understanding and basic conversation, like Andrew Holness, we say this something nicer. Mark Golden is more of the people than Andrew Holness. I think that Andrew Holness is very pretentious. You understand me? I think that he plays the part of the man of the people better. Underemployment is worse than unemployment, because if you're working less than...
Underemployment is worse than unemployment. Andrew Holness is a pretender. The man is 100. Let me play that back. He pretends to care about the people. Hey, big up that youth, you know?
Basic understanding and basic conversation. Like Andrew Holness, we say this something nicer. Mark Golden is more of the people than Andrew Holness. I think that Andrew Holness is very pretentious. You understand me? I think that he plays the part of the man of the people better. Underemployment is worse than unemployment, because if you're working less than what it costs you to live and go to work, that is underemployment.
Remember, I used to tell say every week you make a month.
No, and I say go. But if you have to use 5 nickel to get 1 muckle, it don't make no sense. You understand me? I say them conversation are not a political conversation. Them conversation are a life conversation.
We have to have an honest conversation about the actual quality of life that the people are experiencing in Jamaica right now. We have to have an honest conversation.
Whoa, yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus.
Jamaica need help shift the parliament.
We have to put that in our program over here, because that is what get the people riled up. But ladies, you heard what this creative said.
Yes.
It is not a political discussion.
It isn't.
No.
A lifetime
Exactly.
discussion.
Facts.
It is, absolutely. It is. And it's for that reason that Mr. Golding indicated that he was going to be focusing on this area as a part of his triple 4E presentation. 4Es, those emerging industries as a part of that. So he's clear that the return on investment can be found. Unfortunately,
5 E's. Don't forget the ethics, which is the most important E. Operating with ethics. Yes?
the Prime Minister is stuck at being cautious. He doesn't necessarily see where cultural and creative industries, it seems, can be of any use to economic growth.
Dr. Hickling.
Yes.
He said, so the Prime Minister is cautious about the creative industry. I wonder why. The creative industry can make billionaires, faster than any other industry, The potential of the creative industry is wild. I mean, it's all about the individual and what they bring and their creativity. It's like the creative industry is all about, say for instance, let's use this as an example. Somebody that paints. You never know what value that painting will have in the present moment when it's done, and even after that individual has passed away. Normally, in those types of circumstances, when the work is great of the person that is doing the work, when they are not here anymore, the artwork actually elevates in value. So say for instance this person has children, that artwork that is a legacy left that has extremely great value even years after they have passed away. You understand? So we really cannot put a cap on the creative industry and its potential. We cannot. It's too big. It's too wide. You understand what I'm saying? It's just, there's just so much that can be. I mean, people can actually, it could open doors to even going all around the world, depending on what you're actually doing and your talent and your level of creativity. There's no limit to the creative industry. It truly isn't. And if you have an artistic mind, you get it. But if you don't, you're just not going to get it. And some of the people in the government, including the Prime Minister, he has no vision. He can't see it. He can't see it.
I recall Mark Golding is a producer, isn't he?
Yes, he has worked.
Producer, he would know the kind of money and opportunities that can come from out of the industry.
I did not know that Mark Golding was a producer. I understand that he was into, music, but I never knew he was that into music and the art form. I never knew that.
Absolutely.
Andrew always sit in a Siaga office.
More than that, he knows how the sectors work. And that's how you find the value. He knows that it takes 10 or 15 people maybe to make that right sound, that you need a sound engineer, that you need a producer, that you need the musicians, that you need the songwriter, and all of them bring value to the process, right? And it is because he knows that and understands that process, which is why he's able to make the commitment that he does. Additionally, go ahead.
Additionally, this is not no fake connection. This is not something that was manufactured to make you affable and endear you to the people. Mark Golding, and Debbie can tell you, people say he's forcing this patois, he's forcing this whatever. Mark on a regular day, his patois is better than my patois.
Yeah, can I admit, at first I thought so. But in more interactions with him, I realized that him prefer talk the patois than actually.
Just so you stay.
At same time. That's what I'm saying. Mark, this is where Mark is most comfortable. In the streets, in his constituency. So what that gives him is this direct touch. He can literally touch the creative industries. Because he's in touch with those persons on the street who have the talent but want a bus. There are those persons who are creating movies but they don't have no channel. He's touching the people where their needs are. He's meeting them in their homes, in their communities, because it's natural for him. He's not manufacturing this like the other guy. He really and truly.
I like that, like the other guy.
Not like that.
And he takes it a step up. And he understands the intellectual property. He understands the contracting processes.
Thank you about that.
He understands the legislation that needs to be put in place to legitimize the cultural and creative industries, cultural and creative people who have been seen as less than. I mean, so much so, Andre, I have to say it, that the cultural and creative giants, Miss Lou and Bob Marley, are seen as less than enough to be a hero, and we can be relegated to maybe being an icon.
No,
that requires a what can go so.
Mark Golding has made.
No, the point that she's making is very significant in regards to the legislative things that they would have to put in place so that people in the creative industry can maximize their royalties. The man is a legislator, and he's also in the creative industry. He has his own studio. We saw the song that they did in Christmas with Nita Garvey. Excellent song. That was a big hit all around YouTube and other social media platforms. So, and even TikTok too. Mark Golding and Nita Garvey, it shocked me. I never knew that they had that type of talent between the two of them, you know. But the point of the matter is, this is like an expertise for Mark Golding, the creative industry, along with the legislative portion to make us, the content creators, earn more from our actual products and to protect our actual. This is good. This is very good, guys. I'm telling you, this is really good. That's an excellent point.
Clear that after win the election, Bob Marley and Miss Lou will become.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are 2 more national, because we have 7 now. So we'll have 9
One more woman.
And a Rasta man.
And a Rastafarian.
That is significant. All of the Rasta them. All of the Rasta them. I could show shots at the JLP where the Carl Garden incident is concerned. But Rasta man, you know over the years who have looked out for you. All I want to get locked up for one spliff, all I want to well up on the weed. I want to think change the legislation. One markage here, remember good?
Hear me when I tell you?
No, repeat that. One more woman.
One more woman and a Rastafarian.
And
that is, you know, that is very, that part you talk about, the woman and the Rastafarian, should sink in tonight, because so often the women are not recognized in our society. They're just seen as just, they not get that heroic,
No, we're talking about legitimization, Andre. We have this set of creatives who are not seen as legitimate workers. Their work is not legitimate work. Plus being a woman, plus being a Rastafarian. So can you imagine the level of heroism that is required to change the psyche of a nation, being a woman, a creative, and a Rastafarian?
People, tap up the screen, man. Come on, stop playing. Tap up the screen. Tap up the screen like this. 38 people watching on YouTube. We should have 38 likes or even more. Let's get it.
The kind of sacrifice that they would have made in their lives in order to have.
I would want to know tonight, Miss Birchall and Dr. Hickling, what does the creative fund look like?
What does the creative fund look like?
Yes.
All right. Yes. You go into your first.
People in our constituency who are entertainers who will need the support to boost their careers. Yep. Because what is happening, Lisa Hannah spoke about it beautifully recently. How the creative industry really.
Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Thank you.
Because I'm sure that Miss Birchall would do well with a studio.
More than one. We have talent. Yeah, man. You see, because South St. James takes up 52% of the parish of St. James.
My God.
Yeah. The other 4 constituencies split the rest. So we are vast. So one studio can't do it, Andre, if you tell you the truth.
That's why he spoke about a studio program. So there'll be a part. One of the programs that we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at the home studios and seeing if we, as a part of the Tools of Trade initiative, that means the things that people use to do their work, computers, microphones, mixers, all the various things, that there will be an initiative to ensure that people can develop home studios or small studios. Both video and audio. So you see you in the room with the so and so, right? And all other people like you.
What you said?
No, hear me now, hear me. That is why that there is this discrimination against those people who are doing the kind of work that you do from their small spaces.
Right.
We want to empower you and all other creatives. We want to empower those people who need a kiln to fire their pots. We want to empower those people who need a computer to write their scripts. We want to empower all the individuals. And you asked me to tell you about the fund. Yeah. So PNP government comes in, and in their first year, they have a government that's already been cast. Yeah, that's very important. So you take $1 billion out of that, and you say, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to provide some opportunities, some grants for those individuals who may want to do a business plan.
Not loans. It's important. It's not loans.
Well, it's a mix. It's gonna be a kind of mix, yeah. So what those individuals can do now is that they can write programs.
One of the key things to note what she's saying about the $1 billion fund for the creative industry. There's going to be a mix of loans and grants. It's not just going to be grants alone. You get me? And I think that's fair. I really do. I think that's fair. There's going to be some people that are going to need grants, and there's going to be some people that are going to need loans. Some people that are already established to a point, but it's like getting this loan, it can help them to get a key equipment right away, and then just take time to pay back. And that key equipment now is going to be used for their creativity that will be yielding in profits that, I mean, when you really think about it, depending on what they're doing, they could pay back for that loan in a very, very short time because of the amount of money that piece of equipment is now allowing them to make. This is just a good idea for the creative industry. It really is. And there's nothing that any laborer can say that is going to change this from being a good idea. There's nothing that nobody can say. It is a really good idea. And if structured properly, I'm telling you, there's a lot of creative people in Jamaica, man. A lot of young creative people in Jamaica if they get the right equipment and harness their talents and their creativity, and then having the structure around the legislation behind their creativity so it cannot be stolen and they will own all the rights to them, because obviously I would suggest to the PNP, if they're not yet thinking about it, that there needs to be also educative process, and that could be one of the reasons for the grant as well. The person might want to go to school to further elevate their understanding of how to maximize the productivity from whatever creative industry that they're a part of. I'm telling you, when you start to really think about it and just eliminate the color out of your mind, just listen to the idea, right? And really start to imagine all of the possibilities this creative industry move could yield for families. You know how much youths don't want to really work for anybody per se? They don't have that. Everybody is not that type in their mentality. Especially when you have a creative mindset, you really, working for somebody is like, it's depressing. It really is depressing, right? When you see things and you can say, oh, you know what? Everything you see is an idea. You know what? I can do this and this and this with that. And then you manifest it, and then people love it, and then that's gonna pay you forever until you die, and then after you're not here anymore, it's still paying your family, it's still paying your son, your daughter, your grandkids. The creative industry can leave a real legacy. Just look at Bob Marley now, as one example. Them a got tired fi see me face. All his family, the royalties from that man, having died how much years ago, is still benefiting his family. That's what the creative industry does. And that's just music. That is just a part of it. But what I'm saying is, with a man like Mark Golden, that has the legislative capabilities to structure the laws in a way to make it very, very beneficial for all members of the creative industry years after they have passed. Trust me, this is a really good idea. I'm really excited about it.
They will get technical assistance to write those programs. Yeah, that's important because there's a lot of money of mix. Yeah. So what those individuals can do now is that they can write programs, and they will get technical assistance to write those programs. Yeah, that's important because there's a lot of money that has been available through organizations, and particular in the DBJ. The other day, the DBJ did a program for creatives, and unfortunately, and I've spoken to them about this, so I can certainly say so in public. They weren't able to identify the cultural and creative sectors appropriately.
Wow.
But Babs in a talk about she do everything for the sector. She not say she keep dance. She not say she get bounty visa and all of them something there, and she instrument. So Babs in a say she do things.
Yo, Andre, mix up.
Andre, that's the daily rigor of a ministry of culture. I'm not talking about the daily rigor of a ministry of culture where there are individuals who do that as a matter.
Basically, that's the bare minimum.
I'm talking about creating systems and structures and processes to ensure that every creative professional can come into a place and be treated with respect and be treated with regard, and can be processed in ways that we can find a way to take them from their own form of greatness and take them to global through our 5G program.
The lady on the screen with the beautiful smile and the glasses, that's Mrs. Deborah Hickling Gordon. She's the one that's talking right there. I'm telling you, when I hear her speak about the creative industry, it gives me goosebumps. And it's the first time I'm listening to her ever speak. It's on Andre's program. I've never heard this lady speak before. Honestly, she gives me goosebumps.
We are very clear. We're not talking about, the kind of everyday activities or, it's important to develop relationships and go to functions and take photographs and be in the newspaper. That's very important. Publicity and public relations is a large part of the integrated marketing communication subsector, but there's a lot of technical work to do.
So you say you personally not going to just be a dance minister, you're going to be a minister of culture.
Well, Leader Golding spoke about the issue of discretionary funds. We're going to have to look at the discretionary funds and we're going to try to put them into the development of cultural and creative industries in ways that can be felt from communities all the way up to large mega organizations who are putting on entertainment events. We're looking at the full spectrum.
We'll make sure, say, only looking to say round robins are not being disturbed by the police.
That's a huge part of it. Now, I tell you, so we have a 5G program.
Yo, you don't hear that a while ago? All of the people, all of the round robin peoples. When you hear that a while ago, the PMP is and they have been looking out for you. Who came up with the entertainment zone idea? Damon Crawford. Entertainment zones where the party don't have to lock off. Because that is the zone for entertainment. Proper parking, proper security, proper bathroom facilities. A safe place for you to go and enjoy your parties. It can be even a gospel concert, but it is a zone for that specifically. You can make a joyful noise unto the Lord and try to make the heavens hear you. The party not going to lock off. Big up yourself, Splash Digi. Right? I'm telling you, man, this is really good.
You're not listening to me.
No, that title. Me know you have no. The things that resonate with the people, me have to make them hear.
Exactly. Exactly.
Nikisha Bertel, unmute your mic. We want you to answer me.
Listen to this.
A PNP government will a PNP government do all it can to see to it that round robins don't turn off by the police?
We have started already. We formed a task force, and one of the things the first things we did is that we met with a former commissioner of police. And we met with him with a view to determining what the problems are. And we understand that there are some training issues that need to be implemented. And we're very happy to interface with the constabulary force, because the constabulary force go to their job. Let's be very clear. They go out to do their jobs. We have to ensure that when they do go out to do their jobs, that they're treating people with regard and is not come off of the sound man. Turn it off and lock it off right away. People need to be dealt with in a particular sort of way, and we know that happens. But we also know that sometimes the sound man push back, right? And sometimes then there becomes an issue. So we need to deal with the relationships. The second part of that now is we have promised a single regulatory authority. What that means? That means that when you want to put on your dance or your 9-night or your event in the community, that you don't have to go to the fireplace and then you go to the municipal corporation and then you go to the police and then you have to go around the corner to get the other piece of information. We want to be able to create a system where individuals can come to a single place to work with the municipal corporations to ensure that there is a standardization of rates, a standardization of processes, and that the criteria used to make decisions is also standardized, so that people can come and say, but hold on, I did everything you asked, what is the reason that I can't get a permit? You might hear, well, there is a security issue in that area, right? And that's a legitimate concern based on some of the things that have been happening. But essentially, people must have the right to recourse. That's two. Number three, right? There is the special, the entertainment zones. No, that one is an important one.
Them have the go mash up the.
No, not like. No. Indeed, that space was earmarked from as far back as 2013 and 14, when Damien Crawford was the state minister and Wickham McNeil was the minister with responsibility for entertainment. They developed a 4-tier program for entertainment zones, from large entertainment zones to community entertainment zones, 4 different types. And it included some very specific processes of interfacing with communities. It also included providing facilities. So when you go to Fort Rocky, there's no bathroom, there's no changing room, there's no where to wash your hand unless somebody brings in a porta potty or piped water like the one that I understand was piped in the other day in Nikisha, when there were, you know, the
Yo, when people start talk crazy on TikTok, me zone them out, you know. When I see that you're clearly not listening to the topic, tell me about what you think about this initiative by the PNP. Give me your honest opinion. Forget about your color. Do you like this idea? Don't you like the idea? What don't you like about the idea? What is the pros and the cons of implementing this idea? Is it more negative than positive? Have you even asked yourself the question, are you even listening? But once you see PNP in the title, you go to oh, I gotta go against them instead of listening.
You know, the piped water that around the corner, it was connected to you know, I'm sure you know about it better than I do, but that's how they have to bring in the facilities to places like Fort Rocky, because there are no facilities there, and that's not
what can go so. Oh, you're talking about St. Mary?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Oh yes, you know, you're slow this evening, boy.
No, man. There's so much happening in this country because trick that's I was wondering if it's Halloween season.
So what I'm saying is that the entertainment zones need to have facilities, the large ones.
I am not talking about Mason Hall anymore. I rest my case about Mason Hall, and I am waiting. I am waiting for a couple weeks down the line, couple months down the line, to hear one big shout out about Mason Hall and water. You just wait.
That the mega entertainment zones that are the entertainment zones A, right? Right now
in St. James as well.
Well, we've been going around on what we call culture tracks, and every constituency we go to, the person who is running, the candidate in that area says, see a place here where you can have an entertainment zone is like hotcakes. Everybody wants to have an entertainment zone. Now, Nikisha, I know you have a place for me to come and look at.
Yeah, man, I have about 5.
All right.
So, what she's saying is that the PNP is already so prepared that they have already scouted the different constituencies and asked the relevant, consulted with the people and the people's representatives and also the police, as to where would be the best area to actually have these entertainment zones. They are, listen to me. Nikisha Burchell said something in this live stream that I think should actually have the Jamaica Labour Party quivering and shivering and in their boots. I don't think the PNP is playing any games, I think they understand the gravity of work that they have to do when they come into power. And it's just a matter of them making sure they're prepared, so when they win, on the ball running. they're already prepared where the housings are concerned. You know? They are already prepared where the housing plan that they have identified the lands that they're going to use to build the housing that you can rent to own, rent to mortgage. The PNP is not playing around. They're not playing around. And then, of course, with the corruption that's happening in the JLP, you know the audits are coming. You know the boosting of the Integrity Commission is coming in terms of giving them more teeth and power legislatively, right? To lock up some people when them actually breach and all of these things. All of that is coming. The release of the Crow report is coming. Yo, man, tell it, the PNP, man, what?
Different sizes, different scales, some for large functions, some for small functions. And you put in the services that are required. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you put in the kind of electricity supply so that, you know, a generator becomes secondary. Mm-hmm. You put in something that, you know, somewhere where the trussing can be moved so that, you know, lighting trussing can be moved in easily. You have the facilities there. It's not just and you ensure that all the permitting is done so you don't have to cut a hole in the fort to create a gate.
Yo, I love this lady, bro. This lady reminds me of me because when she analyzes the stuff that they actually do, it's like, why did you even do that? Do you know that there's a more wholesome procedure that you could have followed? One Bag of Love Big Up says, this is a good show for us in the US to come back home. I'm telling you, man, you've seen that Mark Golding flew out, I think, to Canada and also to the United States, to the diaspora, to speak to the Jamaican people overseas are stakeholders. See, Mark Golding gets it, you know. Mark Golding understands how important the people in the diaspora are to our economy. You guys send millions of US dollars to Jamaica every year, collectively, as a body. You guys are paying for people's rent, the schooling, water bill, you name it. Yeah, man, rent to own your house. And the good thing about the rent to own your house or rent to mortgage plan is that they are using the land, but you're not paying for the land. You will have the equity of the land just by owning the home. And you can always expand on your home. There's no restriction. You own the home. You're not going to be passing on and then you hear say the government own back the land and take it away from you. No. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see that.
You talk about permits. Many small business people in this country are having challenges with this government and the JCF presently, in that they want to get their permits to do their events, their parties, and many times the permits are not granted. And then when that happens, the police come and harass them, turn off them events. And this is happening a lot right across Jamaica. What is the People's National Party going to do about situations like this going forward?
Well, before Debbie jumps in, because, you know, she is the creative industries person, so she has been working with this era for a while. But speaking as a representative in South St. James, I want to big up the Sarge from the Cambridge Police Station. Just last week, we had a situation in one of our communities, Plantation, where the community, young people came together and they wanted to form their own little youth club. They had football competition for the kids, bounce about, everything. If you want to see how the place look good, you understand? And for whatever reason, they did not get a permit for the event, even though they had initiated the conversation. And the Sarge came. He was well within his right because they had not followed the steps, but we talked to him and he was able to work out a little thing to help them do recreation peacefully and to fix up things as they move forward. But that should not be the case. It shouldn't be the case that we have to rely on, just a conscience of a pliable or a supportive, community supportive police officer. As Debbie said earlier, it should be clear. It should be clear. The steps you need to follow in order to access the permits you need. And I've been in situations where a community member is putting on an event down the road, and then down the road, the partner of a police is putting on a fish fry. And because they need the crowd to move from this event to that event, they lock off this event.
Big facts. Yo, listen, man. Let me tell y'all something. I was a part of an event. I'm talking about millions of dollars are spent. Millions. All right? And it was in the December time. Right? And they were officers, or an officer that kept event up the road. The competition was already there because it's December time. And the date, and I'm telling you, the party was locked off so quick. The party was locked off so quick, ladies and gentlemen. And you see the party for the police? Daylight. Daylight. And that police did not spend not even 1/16th of the amount of money that our team spent. You hear me? Not even 1/16th. I'm not asking you. The venue alone was in the millions. Just for the venue. Big stage show, artists, everything. I'm just saying. One of the main artists didn't even get to perform. So, let me tell you something. People in the creative industry, people that keep the events, they have lost a lot of money. And this is a welcome from the PMP in terms of plans that they have put in place to have those people that have put their money into this, lost it. It's time for them to earn it. We need those entertainment zones. All right? We need it. All respect to the police, them do them job, but the government needs to protect the people that are investing their money to get a return. The round robins, them, may I tell you, the round robin, them people use that and build them house if things go right. I now ask Christ. You understand? People use that and buy vehicle, put on the road for other business, turning over cash. Because you know money coming in one time. You get me? Yeah, not hard. I'm telling you, not rush. Listen, people need to understand the culture of Jamaica. Zine, so I'm so happy. See, this is why they say the PMP is the people's government. You know? I'm so happy that they're actually investing in the creative industry and investing in all of this. Meanwhile, you have the Prime Minister saying that he's cautious about it. Man, listen. Boy, I'm trying to tell you. Let's continue, man.
So it is this thing that doesn't augur well for police-citizen relationship. And so where the laws and the regulations are not clear, it only builds a deeper divide between the police, who are the face of the legislation, and the citizen. We want the government to take 10 steps back.
Yes.
Realize that they are putting the police in a very awkward position.
True.
They're also citizens who want to recreate and deserve the ability to so do in their spaces. We need to find a way that we can have them meet. And that one-stop shop that Debbie spoke about, that the PNP will implement when we get into office, will help to smooth that over quite some.
And you know what, too? I just thought about this. I'm definitely going to tap into that $1 billion grant or loan from the People's National Party, because I want to build a studio where I do my work. And, you know, sometimes I'm outdoor, you know, I'll do the outdoor thing. But I want to build a studio where I am, one, very comfortable, two, not disturbing anybody, right? And I can be locked in there and just get creative and just put out content. When I go into the studio, I know I go into work. So today I have a 10-hour shift. I do a 10-hour shift. Boom. Yeah, you know how you seal off the rooms them, so it cancels out the noise from outside coming in or inside going out. I want to build a studio like that. I want to build a space like that. Once I go in there and I lock in, man, rain could not fall, thunder could not clap, all and something. May have my camera look out the door so we can see what's going on. But really and truly, I am locked in. That is what just came to me. I need that. I need that. Let's continue.
Unfortunately, a lot of what is happening in our cultural and creative sector by way of policy and the implementation of policy has been arbitrary for the last 10 years. We are running away from arbitrary. We are moving to structured. We are moving to putting in place systems, moving to ensuring that individuals, that it's inclusive, that people don't have to wonder whether they are involved or can be involved, or if they are from a different stripe or if they're from a different
strata.
Well said. Yes. To benefit from the system. We're moving on. You can be deliberate and still be arbitrary. And we're moving away from the drip programs, the programs that kind of come at you. And here's another thing that I noticed that's been happening. All of a sudden, everybody is interested in cultural and creative industries. There are so many projects and programs that are being rolled out. At the last moment. Too little, too late.
So as soon as the PNP come with the ideas about the creative industry, here comes the Falafashin JLP them. That's the point she's making. Andrew Owners, listen man, what a copycat. Are you just gonna steal everything, bro? I'm just asking, like, is this your nature? Why didn't you think about this, I don't know, 5 years ago? Let's put it back to 5 years ago. Because when it's not Nikisha said that's still in it's this lady right here in the purple. That lady in the purple right there. Yeah, so for the ones on YouTube, yeah, that lady right there beside me. And for the ones on TikTok, yes, that lady above me. Right? That's Deborah Hickling Garden. Mrs. Deborah Hickling Garden. You don't want to take away the marriage status, no man. That's very important, yes? Anyway, that point that she just made is key.
All of us
about the government now all of a sudden, you know, looking to roll out programs for the industry.
At the last moment.
Right.
Too little, too late.
Yeah,
it's been 9 years.
Yeah, it's been 9 years. I'm sorry.
It's been 9 years.
But
stop it.
As a creative myself, when I sit and I speak with several of the creative members, it is a case that they're frustrated by one, they don't get the financial support to do their business, the kind of red tapes they have to go through to do their business. They don't get the promotion to do their business because you spoke of something about copyright. A lot of these entertainers, they don't get the support in terms of copywriting because, for instance, there is a popular
Nikisha Bvrfam is going to make an excellent point here. So wanna listen to this.
Man on TikTok named Derek Morgan that has, I think, the most viral songs around the world. But Derek Morgan doesn't benefit in no way, shape, or form.
What about the person who created the Bro God moniker? Is he being compensated for his intellectual property? You know, I mean, here we have the head of government using the man's creative property at will. Yes, you know, and is not at all conscious of the fact that he's exploiting the creative property of a Jamaican citizen.
You know, Let me turn around the camera. Let me show you Nikita. That lady in the white right there, that's her. That Meek, what up, love? She talking about come on now, Bolo. Lloyd Fang, what up? That lady right there in the white, that is Nikisha Burchell. Even today, Andrew Holness is calling himself Bro God. He has taken on the monitor of government badness. Government badness, Andrew Holness. And the individual that created have the this person is just spamming in my chat again, block them. Not because you're saying one thing, but because you're spamming. I'm going to block you. Share a promotion, how you doing, love? So government badness, Andrew Holness and Bro God, those monikers that Andrew Holness took on and pretty much helped him to win the election. That's the intellectual property of the artist. How did the artist benefit from that? Where was the and he's constantly doing it. So where is the money that's coming in? And Andre made a point about people that make sounds that is still being used. I'm so glad CC asked that question. Can you go to Facebook, CC? Go to Facebook. I'm going to show you something. I'm glad you asked that question. The question is the PM calling himself Bro God, or is the people calling him that? Wait. There is a clip at a conference that the JLP leader was at, that he said, the Honorable Mrs. Bro God. Not only is he calling himself Bro God, but he's calling his wife Mrs. Bro God. Where is my... Oh, man. I left... Let me see if I have it in my phone. Let me see if I have it in my phone. Let me see if I have that audio in my phone. Mrs. Bro God. Meet the judge. Let me see if I have that. Stop it. Pull up more gerrymandering, ball out. I hope I have it here. Mrs. Bro God, listen to this. Listen to this.
Today, most honorable Mrs. Bro God.
Okay. Okay. Let me play it back again for you. Alright? Let me play it back again for you. Listen to this.
So I turn to the most honorable Mrs. Bro God. Julian.
So, this was at a conference years ago that Andrew Holness called his wife Mrs. Bro God. So if he's calling his wife Mrs. Bro God, you don't think he's calling himself Bro God? And you can go to his Facebook page. He literally calls himself Bro God on his Facebook page. His official Facebook page says Bro God. So CC, I hope that answers the question, yeah? He has taken on the moniker of Bro God. He has taken on the moniker of government badness. He used it to win the election. Why you think there was in them clerks, the gangster government? Why you think there was in them clerks? I remember even his wife was in clerks, and one of the things Nesta called himself Bro God first. Well, if that's the case, I mean he still took it on. He still took on the moniker. You understand? I'm not gonna argue if Nesta Morgan called himself Bro God first. He was the one managing social media. Well, even if he's the one that is managing his social media, the Prime Minister has a say about his own image. So if he doesn't want to be referred to as Bro God, and he didn't want to take it on, oh, so that's how Nesta got his position in the government, allegedly. Lord have mercy. Hey, one thing with Stuart, you know. Mr. Smelly. Yeah, Mr. Smelly know their business, you know. Mr. Smelly know their business. But anyway, I don't want to sidetrack about Bro God, and I'm just saying what Mrs. Deborah Hickling Gordon is talking about, and and Nikisha Burchell is intellectual property and the creative industry. You get me? Oh yes, you know him from Huey. All right, see it there. You know a town stay already. You know Nora, Joanne, what's up? Big up on yourself on YouTube live. Share, big up. Let's continue.
Absolutely. It's an area that we really, really have to place greater focus on. Now, the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office is an office that has done a great deal of work. And actually, in the last PNP government, a lot of the legislation in order to steady the cultural and creative industries was put in place. Mr. Golding and Tony Hilton played a large part in putting the legislation in place. Unfortunately, what has happened is that at the political level, there's another process that needs to happen, and there needs to be a kind of standardization of those processes in terms of its delivery. So that's one of the things that we need to democratize, and by that means we need to bring people in to understand what it means to register your intellectual property and the benefits. Now, here's the thing, Andre, I'm going to be very, very honest, very clear. Sometimes we beat up the government or a government, and the cultural and creative industries practitioners do not take advantage of some of the things that are available to them. And we have to create, a lot of them don't know about it because they're not on the list. We have to find a way to expand the lists, right?
So you're saying that there needs to be a rigorous data gathering process.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Find out where they are so that you can connect them and also support them.
Absolutely.
But this government not connecting them. There's a few that get the jobs and get the contracts and get the airplane time and get the funding to go do the film.
It can be very frustrating. Can be very frustrating for persons who know them have the talent. The next Bob Marley, the next, Peter Tosh, they are in their homes and they're saying, this world is not for me. This industry, let me see if I can go join the unemployment line or see if I can get a little job here, because my talent, which I should be able to earn from if I package it properly, has no place in this government that has been designed for us.
Absolutely. That's a...
So you say you're going to roll out a cultural policy under our next PNP administration?
Without a doubt. I've been calling for that for 10 years and we started the process. In fact, we did a framework that we left for this government.
You should never leave a framework for the...
Yes, sir.
But you did leave a framework.
Yes, sir. And she started a National Cultural and Creative Industries Commission with representatives from the industry. It has never met since 2015.
My God.
It's not even been convened. It's not even been named. The individuals in 10 years, a commission that was started to represent cultural and creative industries, to create their own policy, has not been named in 10 years.
No, Debbie, you're a little too previous. Remember, it's just been 9 years, almost a decade. So wait, man,
in almost 10 years.
Yo, I swear to God, yo, Smelly, Smelly. The people in up them believe, bro. You not believe, you're a skeptic, it's all good. I used to be a skeptic too, but hey, I'm telling you, I'm not gullible, but at the same time, yeah, I see some good things coming. To be honest with you. We just hope that, I personally just hope that the big powers that be don't come slide them way in and corrupt the thing, because we know the unseen hand, and how powerful that they are. We're going to have to have press, big up yourself, mama. We know the unseen hand behind the scene, the PSOJ, just how much they come in and muck things up. So yeah, we just hope that Marky G stay firm and stand with the plans that him actually have for the people that he outlined. And once him stay upon that trajectory there, we'll be alright.
A very touchy matter. The Ward Theatre ladies. The former mayor said have no apologies about what has happened with the Ward Theatre.
I always get myself in trouble when
I disagree, Smelly. I disagree with that.
I talk about Ward Theatre. I performed in Ward Theatre. My parents performed in Ward Theatre. My grandparents performed in Ward Theatre. It's very dear to my heart.
And I went there one time to in JCDC, and that was years ago when I little pick me at primary school. What is happening with the Ward Theatre?
Well, what has happened is that there are a number of questions that are pending response within the KSAMC
an account for
about funds that are unaccounted for and systems that seem to have gone awry. But I'm not going to preempt the responses to those questions. We want them really badly. But what has happened is that we have a mayor who has taken it in hand. He has been very clear that this is something that he wants to deal with. I've been asking him about it from the moment I got he was named and I was named. Every time I see him, he knows that he's going to get a question about the Ward Theatre. And he has put something in place. He has identified 2 erudite individuals from Jamaicans who are now looking into what happened and what needs to happen to bring the Ward Theatre to completion. I have 2 issues with the Ward Theatre. First of all, there's an issue of just fixing the Ward Theatre for fixing its sake, as opposed to rehabilitating it in its historical form, ensuring that we do the fretwork, ensuring that all of the details that would bring it back to its form of glory. I think that's very important. And I have a bugbear. I understand. I've not seen it myself. I've not had an opportunity to go there. But I understand in Jamaica, the creative city of music, they closed in the orchestra pit to put in more chairs. That deserves a what can go so.
Repeat that, the music.
They closed in the area where the band goes, the orchestra goes. In a traditional theater, they closed the thing to put in more chairs.
Yeah, but Andre, what is happening at the Ward Theatre is not an isolated.
Absolutely.
It really shows, even in my constituency and those that I've.
Yes, because I was going back to St. James.
Yeah, like this government's approach to creative industry and spaces for community development, it's been abysmal. Where you have community centers, which was a big thing under PNP, our community centers now have been left to just languish. Some of them close, some of them now turn co-pen or go to stall. Some of them now, private people have come over to take over them. And then you have
church keeping of them.
Church keeping of some others, and so on. So there's no communal space. The football fields, don't even talk about those, right? So the football space and the green spaces that, again, supposed to allow the people them to have an outlet. There is no attention being placed to these in our communities. So what I had to ask myself as I've been going through South St. James and seeing just the state of these community centers, that this government don't really care about the social outlets for the people. They don't see the importance of a community center where our aged, and I have a lot of aged people in my communities, where our aged can go on an evening and play bingo, where they can go and teach the kids about things they used to do back then, and how they used to make drops. Yes, and how they used to do this and how they used to do that and carry on the oral tradition.
The community centers could have become the areas that the studios and the
But Smelly, she's talking about this current administration, not the JLP overall. Even if that's the case, she's not talking about this, the entire JLP. She's talking about this current administration. You hear what the Prime Minister said? The man said he's very, very, mindful or skeptical about the creative industry.
Are set up to support these.
And yes, they can be performance and production, small performance and production hubs. And it takes us back to where we are, where we began. What we wanted to do is expand the Institute of Jamaica's junior program right across the island, so that there are programs for activities for children on the week.
Yeah, but that is not the conversation. The conversation is not about what the PNP did for 18 years straight. The conversation is about what's happening right now, how we are faced. And I mean, nobody can tell me, and I used to think that, you know, things was just, everybody, this picture where they did pay and say, yo, the 18 years was just so bad. There's a lot that the PNP accomplished in those 18 years. You know, when I look back at this guy from Nationwide, George Davis, you know, I actually saw him label PJ as the murdering prime minister, and I said to myself, just hearing what he was saying let me know he was exaggerating. And then when he gave all the numbers were assessed, and then when compared to the 9 years that Andrew Holness have been in power, Andrew Holness is almost at the same amount of persons that has been murdered under his watch, and we're not even talking about the legitimate suspicion that there has been suppression of the numbers last year. You understand? I do realize that they are a JLP station, a JLP. I do realize that. But what I'm saying is, why would you just lie? Why would you just try to paint that picture when we can look at the data? We can literally see that you're exaggerating. And if somebody was to be called the murdering prime minister, which I'm not suggesting that anybody does that, it would be Andrew. Andrew average death per year is over 1,150 easily. When you calculate all of the numbers and pull them up and divide them by the amount of years he's been in power, it's easily after 9 years his average is way more than PJ Patterson. So, you know, there's some political arguments that people make. It's just ridiculous. Your mom left Nationwide? What? Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah, but I don't even want to talk about them because them have some more issues that are coming to them, like the alleged taxes and them something there. It's gonna be very interesting when the PNP gets into power. Anyway, moving right along.
And so on. But it's not only the fact that the communities have been neglected. If you look at our heritage sites right across the island, those two have been neglected. Look at Vale Royal. Vale Royal. I believe, Andre, that Vale Royal is representative of the current government. It's representative of the neglect of the current government. Whenever you think of the current government, think of what?
Hey, Smelly, I come like one of my family them at town. And him connected to the politics too, you know. He told no tall, is same, brown, skinny, but he's literally like my family, isn't he? And yeah, he tells me a lot. He tells me a lot. Yeah, the political thing really runs deep. There's going to be more that we don't know than we do know, because it is what it is, man.
It looks like now.
Very chaka.
Oh.
Very mashed down.
It's problematic.
Problematic, but I think diabolical.
You're right, Andre.
No, we have to show you a little creative producer. Dance it already, mother.
Back to my girl and roots, you know, brother. So, you know, brother, that's the kind of music I love. I love our cultural expression. Even this weekend, I was doing some rallies singing.
Oh, you done the praise and worship leader in Jamaica.
You know, so me.
When you see how Nikisha Birchell turn Sister Birchell, at the time.
So you don't know some of your passing big name?
No.
Yeah.
Turn our spotlight on a dark undercurrent in our democracy, a practice as old as politics itself. As Jamaica braces for its upcoming general election, the illegal business of vote buying remains a stubborn stain on the electoral process. Vermont Alliance has part one of this special report, Democracy on Sale.
In elections, millions of dollars flow. Campaign ads, party promotions, you name it. But there's an amount that goes unnoticed. Wallets open, hands stretch wide, and voters, well, they just have to name their price. This has been happening for decades. Now follow me to a community in Kingston, where one man says the X doesn't go beside the head or the bell. Instead, the dollar sign.
Yeah, me use some money, the 10, 5, 3 grand. You see me? Yeah, the money, 10 grand, 5 grand, 3 grand. You see me? You know, that's like we, you know, we get that 10 or more, you know? Yeah, man. We get it, man, maybe 4 voting and all these things.
And the payment process varies. He says there are cases where his member of parliament delivers the money in person. In other instances, the area leader acts as the bearer.
The damn them getting a package, you know. Some getting a brownie blood, some getting a white, but regular local man, them will turn on them things. You see me, get them things in the man. You see me? Or some man, or some dan get it in a one, and them issue to who them want to issue to. You see me?
Yeah, so we go through the creative industry, plans, not everything, but some key things were said, and I wanted to highlight that. That last part with the vote buying, people may not know about. I've never had the desire to take any money from any politician directly or indirectly for any alleged or proposed loyalty. I cannot be bought. Personally, I'm not into that. So, you know, my stance on it is I'm not taking anything from them. As a matter of fact, I've been so blessed that they wouldn't even approach me and my family. It's like, you know, don't you know who for frightened? Yeah, that type of vibe there. So I've not associated myself with either party in that regard over the years to say, oh, you know, he's a comrade or he's a labor, right? No, sir. When them see me, them say, yeah, this someone not really into them thing there, no, Bridget. And then none of them, I'm about to two of them. And that's always been my position. But I have to honestly say that this Prime Minister Andrew Holness has really... It's funny how them said Mark Golding was a gift to the JLP. But it turns out that the things that he's saying is going back on him. He has now become a gift for the PMP. Andrew Holness have such zero credibility, ladies and gentlemen, that he's literally pushing people of Jamaica that really never voted before, really never had any intention of getting into politics and what is going on. He has pushed them right into the hands of the PMP. And one of the main things is the corruption in the government. And there is so much instances of that corruption rearing its ugly head, or even glimpses of it where you go, so wait a minute, what is going on here? Too much questions around many industries where trillions of dollars are missing, and then those industries are not doing well anyway. Yeah, smelling me here we ask about that, but that is the past. You understand? That is the past. Talking about the present. Remember, you know, the way how Andrew Holness came into power, you know. He came into power with this. I am of integrity. I am here to clean up this country. I am here to do what they have not done. And he made a lot of promises. You understand what I'm saying? He made a lot of promises. And then members of his own party that have been caught in scandal after scandal after scandal, He has not punished them. He has embraced them even more. Ruel Reed, there's so many of them, right? Whether them a beat them wife, whether them a take on the Integrity Commission and a lie to them. He has embraced every single person in the ill things that they have done. He has not set any example to set us apart. Andrew only should have set himself apart from every other politician that came before him. The way how he spoke to the people, and I remember because I was listening, although I was not talking and giving my commentary, I remember vividly some of the strongest arguments that Andrew Onis made that made me say to myself, you know what? I hope that he's really going to do what he says, because, we want to see some people, we want to see some accountability, we want to see some transparency, right? But unfortunately, he has failed. He has failed. His words don't mean nothing. His words mean absolutely nothing. His words are empty. Right? Imagine this man went on the stage and the man said, yo, I'm going to leave the Integrity Commission alone, and that includes the opposition. What is he doing presently? Carry the Integrity Commission to court, right? In his affidavit, asked the judge to actually certify his statutory declaration, which was out of the judge's power, or force the Integrity Commission to do so. Some of the demands in his affidavit was, I was like, what? What is this? Why did his lawyer allow him to even put those out? I know you're working for the client, but you should be like, yo, bro, I don't think you should do this, This don't make you look good. When people start to look at the affidavit and really go through it, it's like, huh? He wanted to take out a part of the Integrity Commission Act that would make them have any relevance in terms of the constitutional reform. This man wants to take out impeachment. Him and Marlene Malahoo Fort. That means we can't lock him up when we find out they want to do anything, like, or even charge him nothing. You want to just take out impeachment out of the Constitution? The man can't be trusted, Bridget. And he's so bad that it's anybody but him and his party at this point. That is where the people of Jamaica are. He has totally destroyed the Jamaica Labour Party's credibility. They have none, not even an ounce. Right? And if the people that are laborites are honest with themselves, they would know that this is a fact. Right? They would know that this is a fact. The Integrity Commission report revealed so many things, and there was so much other things happening before that. Look at the lady that died. What's her name again? Oh my God. Oh, that allegedly such people name came on the title of the land or the will or something like that. I don't want to call any name. The amount of scandal, Bobby Montague, the car scandal. I know them police carrying a rich Jamaica, I know. Andrew only still embraces Bobby Montague. Right? So many, man, listen. Paul, well, you name it, you have people on the PNP side too. We have some questionable things about them. Right? But in terms of possibly stealing our tax dollars or nepotism or cronyism that literally affects we, the Jamaican people, and our growth and the economy, focusing on just those things. Brother, the JLP, man, bro. Oh, you talk about, I don't know about that, I don't know about that case. That case is still in court. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And I would think that in any event with something like that, giving a lawyer perspective on how them approach those things, that is a very delicate situation. So I don't know about that. but sticking to the corruption side of things. And just the blatant lying. The man have a 100-day promise that he never fulfilled. And I say this all the time. One of the things that he could have fulfilled was fixing a date for the election. That was the easiest thing. You see, Andrew Holness listened to the concerns of the Jamaican people, right? And he framed in 2016, he framed his whole push to become government around those issues and told the people exactly what they wanted to hear. And once in power, he took an absolute U-turn. And now the people are turning on him. He has gifted the PNP. If this election is a free and fair election, I'm telling you, it's going to be a landslide. It's going to be a landslide. The people don't trust the government anymore. They don't trust none of them. 8 people in the government under investigation. 8 by the Integrity Commission. They don't trust them no more, brother. They don't trust them no more, bro. It's a simple matter of trust. You ever hear them say don't carry, don't give puss, but if you carry? That is what the people of Jamaica, in the majority, even in the diaspora, is looking at the Andrew Holness-led government. If Andrew Holness had any integrity and he did love the JLP, he would have resigned and then proved the Integrity Commission wrong and then return like the prodigal son. That's what he would have done. Resign immediately, prove the Integrity Commission wrong, right? And win that and come back. But what? He goes to court to suppress the Integrity Commission so they can continue this thing with him till after the election. Because the argument is that it is going to muddy the election. Well, guess what? It's already muddy. And the SSL saga is at the top of people's mind. The top 2 things that the Jamaican public is concerned about with the corruption of this government is the SSL saga, not just because it's boat money, but the 200 plus other people that lost their inheritance in that saga. And there is a report that they paid a lot of money for, which they are not releasing. Why are they not releasing that report to the public? Why? Huh? What lies have I told on the PM, Barbara? Name one lie that I have told on the PM, because you guys use that word very loosely, you know. And I take the ultimate offense to you calling me a liar. What lie have I told on the PM? Name the lie, because everything I talk about is documented. Name one lie that I've told. You're just in your emotions because you're worshiping a man. The fact of the matter is, the man has a lot of corruption in his government. The people around him, morally and otherwise. You understand? Who I want to play back the SSL? Listen to me. Anybody as a laborer that argue to me about SSL, I say to you, demand your government to release the Kroll report. Argument done. If you don't want anybody to have a negative opinion about the Jamaica Labour Party in regards to SSL, release the Kroll report and prove to everybody that you, the government that's present right now, has nothing to do with both and the other people losing their money. That's all they have to do. Argument done. Why are they not releasing the report? Answer that, Barbara. Barbara Hudson, why is the Jamaica Labour Party not releasing the Kroll report? Huh? What is their excuse? After paying, say them get the FBI to come down here and them get this and them get that. What is the reason for that report not being released? Huh? They say you can simply read the laws. You don't need to see the report. No. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. You cannot spend so much money and not release the report. And then, all right, say for instance, you don't want to release the report. After the report, you're telling me that only one person is gonna be charged for SSL? Only one person? Huh? One person is gonna be charged for SSL? Man, listen. Your empty threats on the platform, me leaving it up to God. Yeah? Me leaving it up to God. No empty threats on the platform are no legitimate threats on the platform, me leaving it up to God. Because the prophet has already spoken. Big up Peter Chambers and big up Mark Holy. The order has been reversed. You remember good, and there's nothing you can do about it, mere mortals. Absolutely nothing. You understand? The government cannot interfere in SSL. Okay. So based off of the law, the government cannot release the Crow report. Is that what you're saying, Stuart? What about the FinSac report? They can't release that neither. So basically, we the people of Jamaica are the ones that have suffered in both ways. One, the government licensed SSL to operate in Jamaica. There's no accountability for that, given their history previously. And then we had to pay for a report that we will not see. Yes, I'm saying it doesn't matter about FinSac. The people keep saying that the PMP is to be blamed about FinSac. I want FinSac report to be released. Release it. Show us that the PMP is to be blamed. Why are you keeping it? Because it does not suit your narrative. That's why they're doing that. Period. The reason why they don't release it is because it don't suit the JLP narrative. That is why. How is the FID or the FSC in the Prime Minister's office going to investigate? Huh? How is that? How is that? And you see, this is the other thing too. If they really wanted the people of Jamaica to understand these things, they would educate them as well. Yeah. If they really want the Jamaican people to understand what is going on, they would educate them. A simple thing. Show and prove. That's my thing. You understand? Well, hey, if it's implicating both parties, there, Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. And nobody wants to be honest about it. Everybody is thinking about green and orange. The Jamaican people is not demanding that these reports be released. And that is the flaw right there. You keep getting caught in the okie doke. My thing is, wherever the truth lies, Yeah, I agree with you, Ryan. Wherever the truth lies is what I want, to come out. If the PMP is to be blamed, we want it to come out. If the JLP is to be blamed, we want it to come out. Whoever is to be blamed, any single individual or any group, we want it to come out. That's what we want. Point blank period. And the idiot Jamaican people and we are killing off them one another over these two parties. Only need to stop threatening people on the internet when they are having intellectual conversations about these types of things. Right? And if I understand Mr. Smelly correctly and his position is that the two parties them are wicked. You understand? And the two of them is to be blamed for a lot of things that is happening in the country. Right? And I don't hear him saying really that one of them is worse than the other. And I don't have a problem with his stance on that. You get what I'm saying? If your stance is that, then that means you're looking for what is best for all Jamaicans, yes? What is the solution, essentially? Where do we go from here? Do we continue on the status quo, right? Where it appears to be that we have two political parties that is friend and Bolo and is manipulating the minds of the people of Jamaica. Because that is what a lot of people think is happening. You know. Majority of the voters, this is why the voter turnout was under 30% in the last general election. Because the people of Jamaica actually do not trust the government. They don't. That is it. This is a minority government, you know. This government is operating under a 20% majority of the voters in the last election. Less than 20% of Jamaica voted in this present government. The other 80% or the other 70%, they don't trust either government, or they are upset with them for whatever reason. I don't forget. Trust me, I don't forget, Smelly. I am moving past the past. We can all agree that the PNP and the JLP in the past played a major role in messing up Jamaica historically. You understand? What I have seen in the last 10 years is unprecedented. This is a little bit different. A lot bit different, as a matter of fact. It really is. We're going down a slippery slope of hell. You understand? No, I'm not talking about forgetting the past. However, I'm not going to dwell on it that I don't live in my present and understand what is actually. I'm not going to make excuses for the Jamaica Labour Party because of past atrocities of the PNP. I'm not doing that. And that's what I see a lot of people doing. Oh, you told about the same thing, so no. And if we're being honest, the present PNP is very brand new and fresh for the most part. Look at the individuals that are a part of it, that are in place. They're not people that have much, like you would say, oh, these people name was in this and they was doing that. No. Really, it's really kind of different. It's kind of different. And then the leader too, you know, it's kind of different. But hey, I understand that even with these discussions, people still have their position, and that's how it's supposed to be. You are your own person, and I can respect. You know, I'm not talking about Smelly alone. I'm talking about everybody. You're your own person. You have your own mind. And you have your own experiences that you use to guide you. And yeah, everybody has to do that for themselves. I always encourage people to do more digging and do more research. Pray, you know what I mean? Don't leave God out of it. Ask God for guidance. But I think we can all agree that this man that is running this government, we can't take another term. Taking money from the United States to promote transgender surgery in Jamaica and those types of activities. $1.5 million. No. The Samoa Agreement, no. Not my children. Not my children being taught. Mel Dub, how you doing, my brother? Not my children being taught that they're a girl when they're not a boy. That's why I have to big up Trump, you know. Trump said, listen, man, we're taking back common sense, all right? Common sense is going to be the order of the day. There is only one gender, male and female. That is it. Yeah. There's no diversity is in gender. That is it. Argument done. All right, and for me, somebody needed to say it, and who better than the President of the United States? Big up Donald Trump. Not, you can say whatever you want about him, but for him to take that stance, legendary. In a time like this in the world where nonsense is the order of the day, where we're talking about binary and non-binary and all of this crap. Man, it was so refreshing to hear Trump say that. It was so refreshing to hear a man in his position saying that. Maria P, what am I lying about? Last Sonic Reed, big up yourself, my general. When I bad blogger them from YouTube. Watch your stuff them all the while. I'm subscribed. Bolo VNR. I'm telling you, I applaud the man. And Maria P, can you answer me? What am I lying about? You guys just keep throwing that around. What am I lying about? You just say you're lying. Lying about what? I haven't lied about anything. What, the $1.5 billion that the USA found that was given to Jamaica? For promote transgender surgery and something there? Sure. You guys obviously are not following the news. Obviously not following the news. I don't mean to say that. It's the news says so. It's not me. Somebody says only dementia onset that talking. Yo, y'all are funny, man. Yo, TikTok is funny. TikTok is funny. I ain't even gonna cap. TikTok is very, very funny. Know what I mean? Well, yeah, like I said, guys, follow me on Bolo TBV. Thanks for the follow. Follow me on Bolo TBV. I need to get to 1,000 subs. And I need to get my watch hours up, man. Yeah, I need to get my watch hours up. You know what I'm saying? So I can get monetized over there. I'm on Bolo VNR Clips and Bolo VNR 2.0. So follow me on there. There's just too much going on with this current Prime Minister. Way too much. And I don't know, some people don't think about the spiritual side of things. So, they're just looking at the carnal things with the government. But on the spiritual side of things, which is the most important side, I follow the prophetic. Alright? I follow the prophets and the prophetesses. Alright? And the road that Jamaica is going down currently is one very destructive road, and it's being pushed by our leadership. All right, we have less children. The birth rate is pretty low already. The truth should not hurt. The truth should be a bitter pill at first, but then one that cleanses and helps your body to heal and your mind to heal, right? So when somebody tells you the truth, instead of attacking them constantly, go do your research. Yeah, God is not at the center of Jamaica right now. The type of things that they're pushing right now is not godly. You understand? Let me tell you something. We cannot be all-inclusive, because God is not all-inclusive. God has standards. God has boundaries. There are certain things that God does not accept. So when you see people talking about all-inclusive, red flag. That is a red flag. Right? Because you see what all-inclusive is going to turn into in the world? All-inclusive is going to turn into, you guys just wait. Colin, how you doing? You guys are going to be interfacing with pedophiles real soon because of this all-inclusive tag. That's what is going to happen. Yes, those are the individuals that you guys will be interfacing with. All right? And what they what they call their sexual preference is going to be in law. And once it happens one place in the world, because of all-inclusive stance, it's going to happen other places in the world. It is time to draw the line in the sand, ladies and gentlemen. What do you stand for? Right? What kind of world you want to live in? And you see, it's going to become very uncomfortable very, very soon for righteous people in this world, because you're going to have to stand up for what you believe in. You understand? There's more unrighteous people that are wicked that actually, you know, kind of run things. You get me? So you have to decide ultimately what you want to do. You're going to be a part of it. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his whole soul? Are you going to be a part of their system, or are you going to separate yourself from their worldly system? That is ultimately what is coming right now. Alright? So we say reverse the order. We say it's time to take back Jamaica. That is it. That is it. It's time to take back Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen. That prophetic word from Mark Stewart, I'm telling you. That prophetic word from Mark Stewart, man. I think he played it here. Right here, sir. One second, guys.
You heard, Andre? No, we have to show you a little creative producer. Show them how we do now back to the sender over here. The diabolical man. Back to the sender. Wait there. See the Keisha start dancing already, you know. No, man. Reverse. Hey. Reverse the order. Reverse. Where we come from.
Send it back. Hey. Hey. Reverse the curse. Back to the sender. Send it back. 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 Pamela, big up. Send it back. 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 Yeah, man. So there's a evil order that has sink their claws into the Jamaica. You understand? So there's a spiritual warfare going on, ladies and gentlemen. You don't realize the type of accident that we are going on the road. You don't realize. You don't realize the type of carnage that is happening in Jamaica. You don't realize. When I talk about these things, usually the room gets empty. Because it makes some people very uncomfortable. You understand? But so be it. So be it. The truth shall set us free, ladies and gentlemen. The truth shall set us free. I have to reverse the curse and we have to reverse the order. And that is for the persons that actually subscribe to the Most High. You understand? And his teachings. Yeah. That's it. You know. That's ultimately what Jamaica needs. This is one of the greatest outside of all the other things that I've mentioned. One of the biggest mistakes that Andrew Wallace made was one, putting his hands on one of God's prophets. In terms of Pastor Peter Chambers, you know, you guys know Pastor Peter Chambers' story. The Bible says, touch not thy anointed and do thy prophet no harm. When Andrew Wallace's government locked down the churches in the pandemic, this was another mistake. You understand? That was another mistake. I found a clip, and I think I did a video on it on my page, of a church in, I think, St. Anne's Bay? Somewhere down there in St. Anne's Bay. And there was a coaster, a police coaster to come and arrest the pastor and the people that was having church. Wagon Odin, that was having church in that time. Now, you can imagine, ladies and gentlemen, the conundrum that a pastor is going to face when communicating with God through prayer and fasting. And God says to the pastor, go and keep church. Who is Andrew Wallace? Who is anybody to outrank that authority? And when the servant is obedient, you see, you have to read the story of Nebuchadnezzar and Pharaoh. Yeah, man. That is what is going to happen. He overstepped his boundaries. He overstepped his authority. You understand? So, amen. Him have God to deal with. He has God to deal with. What is happening to the JLP is God doing it, you know? God is not with that government. God is not with them. He's not. He's not with them. And the PMP needs to make sure that they're with God. And don't let what God do at all. You understand? UIC, same thing. Make sure that you're with God. Alright? Put God in the center, the corner of them. Just feel God in all of the plans them. Ask God for guidance. Hear what the national pledge says. Let me read that. I need to start reading that every time I actually do a live stream, you know. At the beginning and at the end. I need to start reading the pledge. The national pledge. I think we need to be reminded of these words every day. It says here, one second. What's going on? What is this? Sorry about that. I opened up the wrong thing, man. Need to start reading this every time. It says here, before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage of my mind, the strength and figure of my body. Understand? In the service of my fellow citizens, my brothers and sisters, I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may under God, not the devil, under God, increasing beauty, fellowship, worship, right? And prosperity, so that Jamaica can play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. That is our mission, guys. That is our mission as Jamaicans. So we have to take back Jamaica, reverse the curse, and reverse the evil order. Alright, so that Jamaica may be under God. Blessings. So no look more Zain, that is it. Thank you guys. See y'all later.